Now that you've got the hang of the basic tools, commands, and interactions with AutoCAD, we're going to look at a few more tools. Don't worry, it's still beginner friendly. We're going to cover some new tools and how they can help you out. Now, as previously mentioned, when you create a set of lines, they come out as individual objects. And you may want to join them with other objects as well. To do this, we select the objects and then we launch the join command. This will convert single lines into a polyline, so the object type doesn't remain the same. Just be careful of that. So once you've got your polyline, you might want to offset it by a certain distance. Launch the offset command and enter an offset value. You can then move the mouse to change the direction of the offset. And if you keep clicking, you can continuously add more offsets. You can also override the originally input offset value by a given amount for that one step, and then it will return to the default that you input at the beginning. Have a play with this and make sure you're comfortable. So previously we looked at scale, and we could make things bigger or smaller by a value. But there's another useful option here, which is the reference option. So if I click here and here, I can then scale it to a target location. Now just be aware, it's really common practice for people to make the mistake of scaling, and then when they're selecting their reference, they click the target scale point rather than the point that they want to scale from and to. Fillet, or fillet, but I'm northern, so I'm not going to pretend to be posh. I'm going to call it a fillet. This gives a radius to a corner. So if I launch the fillet command and I give it a radius, by default the radius is 0, so watch out for that. I can then click on one line and another line, and I can create a nice smooth curve. And then the command shuts down. That's rather annoying. So I'm going to relaunch the command, and this time I'm going to select the multiple option. The radius value is remembered from the previous command, but I can always input a new one if I want to. Now, with this multiple option, I can continue to click, and I can input a new radius midway through the command, which can be super useful. But there's a third option. If I select the polyline option, I will fillet every single corner at the same time with the same value in one go. You've also got the chamfer command. This is almost identical, but instead of inputting a radius, I need to input a distance and an angle. You'll notice that by default, again, the input values are strange. So I have the single option. I can also use the multiple option, which will allow me to do multiple corners, one after the other. And again, I can do a complete polyline, but unless I'm doing a 45-degree angle, I'm going to get some interesting and unusual behaviors if I do this. So just be aware of that. Spline is fun. It allows you to create these more organic shapes, but it's best practice not to use it unless you have to, because it can create heavy and cumbersome drawings. However, if you really need an organic fluid shape, it's good to know it exists. It works pretty much like polyline in that it's continuous and I can close it. I can then dynamically edit it with these grip points and even change the way it's manipulated. Again, this can create very heavy and cumbersome drawings, and it doesn't always behave as you would expect with other commands, so be careful. There are 3 types of array in AutoCAD, but for this, we're just going to look at 2 of them. The first one is array rectangle. Array rectangle will repeat the geometry in a grid formation. While I create the array, I can change with the grip points. And I can also manually input values in the top, in this contextual ribbon that appears. Once I've created it, I can edit it at any time in the exact same way, which is really cool. Arrays keep your drawing a bit more lightweight, and they're fantastic if you're just copying things in a row. So an array polar arranges things in a circle, kind of like the spokes on this bike. It will ask you for a center point, and that's the center point of rotation. If you get confused about this, you can draw a circle, and you can use that as your center point. Now, again, you can change it with the grip points. You can change the base point, you can change the angle, you can change the direction, and you can choose if the objects are rotated or not. Again, the ribbon comes up as a contextual menu to allow you to input values as required. Just be aware that AutoCAD works in an anti-clockwise direction. As with an array rectangle, you can click on it at any point and change the values later. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications, it really helps me out. It also lets you know when the next lessons are becoming available. Additional resources are available, including PDFs, DWG files, reference documentation, and exclusive videos. Please see the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.